Yeah, normally I don't make a follow-up video like this, but yeah, the PlayStation scam is a lot worse than I actually thought of. 700
Straight $700 US. Where's the disc drive? Where's the disc? Where's the, you are no 700. Wait, hold on a minute. I gotta do some math.
I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but like if you're a broke boy, just say so.
Your tears are so yummy and sweet. Oh, the tears of unfathomable sadness. Yummy.
Remember when I said the PS5 Pro would be a better investment than a $2,000 gaming rig? Yeah, I'm sticking to that. I'm already seeing those doom and gloom thumbnails popping up all over YouTube. PS5 Pro will be a complete flop. Bro, chill. Y'all said the same thing about the PS Portal and the PS5. And guess what? Both sold like crazy. The same thing is gonna happen here. Once the reviews start rolling in and real gamers start testing it out at home, you'll see it's the real deal. Despite all the drama and accusations of clickbait, there's a growing reality that Xbox players and even some PC gamers are switching to the PS5 Pro. While this doesn't apply to every PC player, it's worth thinking about the average rig most people have. Many PC gamers don't have top-tier hardware. In fact, just to match what the PS5 Pro offers, you'd need a graphics card like the NVIDIA 4070, which costs around $600 by itself. When you add in the CPU, motherboard, RAM, storage, case, and cooling, you're looking at a system that easily surpasses $1,500. On top of that, every time a new game drops, PC gamers are stuck checking system requirements, tweaking settings, and watching tutorials on how to optimize their rig to get the best performance. That can be a hassle for those who just want to jump into a game. The PS5 Pro, on the other hand, offers a straightforward plug-and-play solution, 4K at 60 FPS with ray tracing, all without the need for extra setup. This makes the PS5 Pro an attractive option, especially for those who are tired of constantly upgrading their PCs or troubleshooting performance issues. You just boot it up and the games run smoothly, with the latest features like PSSR upscaling enhancing visuals. It's this simplicity, combined with performance, that's enticing not just Xbox users, but also PC gamers who want a reliable, high-quality experience without breaking the bank. That's the intro. Big claims require big proof, right? Grab your popcorn, put your tinfoil hat on, wipe the tears from your eyes, and let's get into it. The PS5 Pro is proving just how much it was underestimated in the wake of its announcement. After the Mark Cerny video came out, so much was focused on and stated, one of the big ones, obviously, being that, well, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a 30 FPS game, and it'll even be 30 FPS on the Pro. Another was this sort of leak about how you could get the PS5 Pro Enhanced label. Then claims were made that you could get the label and still be a 30 FPS capped game. There was a huge focus on the CPU as a bottleneck. There was a massive fixation on the price, with comparisons to building a PC or buying pre-builts. At the time, I really said, listen, everybody's getting ahead of themselves. Let this thing come out, let these breakdowns happen, let the tech guys get their hands on it and figure out how this thing is working. And now that's happening. It is clear that the PS5 Pro was underestimated. I want to look at all this with you because I really think it proves it. I think the power proves it, the games prove it, even the developers are proving it. And yes, I also think the sales are proving that this thing was underestimated. And it wasn't just underestimated by skeptics, cynics, and haters. There were tech outlets, even right now, showing signs of surprise, like, this thing is exceeding our expectations. It's doing things we didn't expect to see. After seeing a steady stream of pitiful attempts to build a PC with the power of the Pro for $700, it became apparent that a lot of these PC-centric channels and outlets really don't know what they're talking about. It became even more clear once the guys at Digital Foundry started to get their hands on the Pro. Check out this clip of John Linneman from Digital Foundry talking about how this was more than he expected.
Yeah, I gotta say, in person, the end result was more impressive than I expected, I guess you could say. Now, this being TGS, the actual game selection I had access to was more limited. Basically, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Gran Turismo 7 were both shown on the system. Rebirth, I famously tweeted about its image quality being a huge leap, and it was actually even larger than I anticipated. It genuinely looks like it's game-changing.
And keep in mind, this is just his initial reaction. There's a huge amount of content on Digital Foundry right now, walking through all the games. I already did a video on this, talking about how the PS5 Pro is a mid-gen leap, not just a mid-gen refresh. We don't need to revisit all of that, but it's clear. The hands-on response to this thing has been really strong. Do an experiment for me, okay? Just look at the headlines of the previews. The hands-on previews of the PS5 Pro. You'll see statements like, "It's clearly better now. I'm a believer. I don't need it, but I want it." And then find any of the previews that really try to downplay whether or not they would get one. It all comes back to the price. It's not about the power. It's not about the performance being unimpressive. They had to run to the price. This proves just how much this thing was underestimated. The cynics and skeptics likely expected that they were going to be able to downplay the differences, like they would be minor, but they're not. They're not minor differences. They can't downplay this when you have experts like Digital Foundry showing the graphical game-changing big differences, especially in something like Final Fantasy. So, they retreat. They talk about the price, they say their standard PS5 is just fine. Which, listen, that's totally legitimate. Many consumers will conclude the same thing. But it proves they underestimated this thing, and they had to fixate on the price rather than the performance. You really start to see this when you look at all the games that are announcing they'll be PS5 Pro Enhanced. Currently, there are 67 games with the PS5 Pro Enhanced label, and that list is climbing every day. A new game announces, or the list grows. You really have to pay attention to this, okay? I think the thing to look at is the fact that the games and the developers are announcing this. This is not something PlayStation is really driving. They made their initial announcement, and now you're seeing games make the announcements on their own, and not just PlayStation Studios. Some of these are even third-party. Just yesterday, Lies of P officially announced it will be a PS5 Pro Enhanced game. And not just third-party games. Even Xbox games are getting the label. Rod Ferguson kept getting the question about Diablo 4, so he officially announced that yes, Diablo 4 would be PS5 Pro Enhanced. And the beauty of this is that every time it happens, it's just free marketing and advertisement for PlayStation and their new hardware. I think it speaks volumes when your former competitor buys this huge publisher, and one of the games under that publisher announces that it will be PS5 Pro Enhanced. Like, hey, you bought that content and now it's promoting our hardware. Now, obviously, this has everybody turning to, what about Black Ops 6? What about Indiana Jones? What about Doom, The Dark Ages? You can tell people underestimated the PS5 Pro because the Diablo 4 announcement made a lot of Xbox fans mad. People really thought the developers and game studios wouldn't care about a PS5 Pro Enhanced label, that it'd be mostly first-party PlayStation games. But then 60-plus games have lined up to snag the label, and the list keeps growing. It's also unsurprising that none of these games are 30 FPS capped games, so we'll probably have to wait a little longer for that prediction to come true, but I won't hold my breath. If you're still denying the facts and resorting to calling people Sony ponies, you're not just wrong, you're being ridiculous. I've always tried to be diplomatic and respectful, even when people come into the comments section trolling and laughing. But I'm done with that. If you're still denying reality, you need to take a serious look at yourself because it's clear you're just jealous. And let's be real, you'll be the first in line to buy a PS5 Pro when GTA 6 drops, or you'll call it woke out of spite. But guess what? No one cares about those comments. Keep hating while the rest of us enjoy the best gaming experience. Unfortunately, due to my low sub count, my credibility gets dismissed as BS. Even though I do 10 times more research than these so-called experts, I'm still labeled as clickbait and fake news, only to be proven right weeks or months later by these same experts. Then people come to me and say, hey, why don't you clip parts from the people with 1 million subscribers? My answer? Because fuck them. They lied to me in the past, like when they said there was no point in upgrading to a PS4 Pro. But today, I'll entertain you. I'll do the one thing I hate, clip videos from the big channels to prove a point.
Come on, PC, let's go.
Oh my gosh, your video did load first. Oh!
Let's see who makes it in game first. What? Oh, probably whoever developed the port.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, that's not fair. That's not fair though.
That's true.
Oh wow.
What happened?
Device driver hung.
What a driver. Date. I literally installed it today.
All right, 20 frames per second.
That's lower than it was before.
I also set it to 4K native.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
Okay, But HDR's working in this game. Hey, there we go. I hope this is a 30 FPS game on PlayStation. Oh no. Okay.
Why is it crashing so much?
No, it's got this. It's got this, I believe. I believe it has the power of PC. The power of PC compels you. Runs at 1440p on the PS5, so we're doing some upscaling here, but what we can't figure out is what the heck is going on with HDR. It's not in display, it's not in graphics. Oh wait, screen calibration, really you guys? I think this might be the first game.
That does look good.
New game?
Yeah.
I read that the HDR on the PC version of God of War is supposed to look a little better. A little better.
How's the details and everything? It's pretty similar.
I think it's a little less on PC.
Oh.
This upscaling looks a little better in the fine hairs of Kratos' beard. Yep, it's a little softer there. I gotta be looking for it though. At TV distance, I wouldn't notice.
They look so similar, other than that this one's a little more pop.
What's your FPS?
60.
Me too. Let's go. Okay,
Go.
this is definitely a little sharper. Let me see what I can do to fix that up a bit over here. In terms of settings, I'm running pretty much at ultra, but what I haven't maxed out is my render scale. So I'm gonna try rendering at 80% rather than 70%.
Got $25 of wiggle room.
Right, but we also conjured peripherals. We didn't pay for a controller. And realistically, we don't have a warranty on pretty much any of our parts. We also had to put in the time to source all this stuff and put it together, including the risk of running into broken hardware or incompatibilities. We had some games that, because of our choice of an Intel Arc GPU, didn't run as well, whether that's crashing or limited support for HDR. So, full credit to Sony, and Microsoft for that matter. This generation of consoles, I would say, has retained its better value than a PC status for far longer than I anticipated, and it may be another year, even 2 years, before we can beat them with a brand new machine. But I also think that, credit to David, by the way, for the adventurous, we've shown that it can be done today, if you're willing to get a little creative. Just like we're creatively telling you about our sponsor.
Someone told me Jay's 2 cents built a PS5 Pro killer for $700 and that I should watch the video. First of all, that comment is so stupid that I don't even need to watch it. But you know what? I said, let's see. Let's fact check this comment.
What we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about whether or not you can build a PC that is on the same level as the PS5 Pro. And you know what? This is nothing new. Every single time a console comes out or gets an upgrade or a mid-cycle refresh or whatever, there's the whole like, it's gonna do the most amazing thing it could do that a PC can't do, even though it's PC parts inside of it. Today we're gonna quote unquote 4K resolutions in console. So we're at 1440p, no upscaling, I just mentioned that. In console, they're doing 1440p as a base res, FSR'd up to 1800p, and then a standard scale again to 4K. So your 4K game is 1800p. So it's not really 4K. And they're gonna be doing the same thing for quote unquote 8K on the Pro. But look at the FPS, it is so consistent. 77, 78, 79, 75. It looks great too. Now let's go crash. Let's go ahead now and see what happens if we go to, I'm just curious, what is the native 4K gaming is gonna be like? It's gonna be terrible. Like 3060 Ti is not intended for, go to performance, 89 FPS in quote unquote 4K DLSS performance. So it's really gonna be like back down to like 1440p-ish. I don't remember the scaling numbers exactly, but look, we have 4K set with DLSS on, and we're getting more FPS than we were in 1440p native res. This is why DLSS is awesome. Now, FSR obviously does a similar thing, but we all know that DLSS is a bit more mature when it comes to the way that it's using its AI upscaler. And this, to me, base res that we upscale up to. So this is now kind of a mess. Okay, I think it's safe to say, for the same cost of a PlayStation Pro, we can build a PC that will absolutely destroy a PlayStation, but the PlayStation's $500. It's $200 cheaper than this. We will serve Pro. So this is now kind of a mess. Okay, I think it's safe to say, for the same cost of a PlayStation Pro, we can build a PC that will absolutely destroy a PlayStation, but the PlayStation's $500. It's $200 cheaper than this. We will circle back with this same build. I will keep it together. I will not touch it. We will see, once we get a PlayStation Pro in hand, how they're after me. It's the cops.
It's the Sony police.
PlayStation 5 Pro, and once Digital Foundry kind of does their stuff, so, because we don't have a way of recording the FPS, so Digital Foundry actually captures the signal, and then they use a software to sort of analyze that signal to say how many FPS it's getting. That's how they can give you accurate FPS number.
So this idiot built a PC for $700 and claimed it completely destroys a base PS5, but has no clue how it will compare to a PS5 Pro. I watched the full video, bunch of nitpicking and blah blah blah, just to make sure it beats the PS5. In my opinion, it's on the level of a PS5, but $200 more expensive. Conclusion?
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that? Get up